Sunday, everyone. As we are moving closer and closer to Thanksgiving and Black Friday, I am going to be doing a product spotlight every day for the next 5 days. So today we are starting with Happy Juice. How could we not start with Happy Juice? For those of you who are new here or don't know me, my name is Laura Harris. I am a certified mental wellness coach and also a founding partner with the mental wellness company, i.e. the Happy Juice purveyors. So you guys have probably seen before me making videos of Happy Juice, like actually showing you how to make it. I've already made mine today because I really just want to get into what exactly is in it, how it works. I want to share my personal experience with you with Happy Juice, which I've been drinking for 18 months now, 19 months now, every single day, and just kind of how it started, how it's going, and the things that it's done for me personally. And then also give you some next steps of how to order and what to expect when you get your product, okay? So Happy Juice, as you may have seen, is viral on the interwebs. It's getting a lot of traction, and honestly, like, it's for good reason. A lot of people can benefit from Happy Juice because it has so many different dimensions to it, and that's what I really love about it. So it's actually going to be 3 products that make one drink, okay? So it's not just one thing. And what's really cool about those 3 different products is they're all a different style of kind of how they're working in your body. And so they synergistically are doing a lot of really cool things, I can't cuss on lives, things in your body that are kind of like creating this entourage effect. So if you're familiar with like CBD and things like that, like the entourage effect can be created in a few different ways in your body. And that's what's happening with Happy Juice because it's doing several different things at once. So what also happens with that is you're gonna get some short-term benefits that you notice like as soon as you have your first drink in day 1, but you're also gonna get what we call phased benefits of continued and consistent use. So I'm gonna share with you what I noticed immediately after a couple weeks, after a couple months, and now after a year and a half. Because again, the 3 different products in it are doing different things, and some of those things you'll notice immediately. Other things it might take a little bit of time, like repairing your gut microbiome and things like that, okay? So the first product in Happy Juice is going to be Mentabiotics, okay? This is the powerhouse. Now, this is a powder. All of these are powders, so super easy to just put them in, blend. Hand frother is the way to do it. But this is going to be the powerhouse that is working on supporting your gut integrity and your gut microbiome. Let me turn that air off real quick. We don't want to listen to the AC the whole time. But this is the one that's doing like some really root level repair. And I get a lot of questions about, how is this different than other probiotics and what really makes this unique? 2 things I want to talk about. With Mentabiotics is strain specificity matters. Now what that means is if you've ever had probiotics before, if you're looking at a label, you should see the full scientific name of what that probiotic is. So it could be lactobacillus, whatever, coagulus, coagulans. I can't even say all of them, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Those really long words, and you're like, okay, I don't really know what to do with this. That's the actual strain of the bacteria. So that is what bacteria is that. And a common misconception when people are shopping for probiotics is they have no clue which ones they need, because they don't know what they do, they don't know what might already be in their body. You want to have a balance, you also want diversity. Diversity is really, really good. So the strains matter a lot. And so we have 3 very specific strains of bacteria that are in Mentabiotics that have been scientifically proven to improve mental wellness scores. Now, what does that mean? So things like improving mood, reducing feelings of anxiousness, reducing irritability, increasing vigor, which vigor is the opposite of burnout. I like to call it mojo. It's really like just helping you to feel better, okay? And because it's in the probiotic family just in general, it's helping to support your gut, which is where pretty much all of your dopamine and serotonin is produced. Okay, so if you're familiar with neurotransmitters, how those contribute to your overall mood, this is just so specifically targeted to the mental health and neurotransmitter piece of supporting your gut. Versus if you just go to GNC and get like a $20 probiotic, like it might help you poop better, maybe, like it might help with something, but it might not be the potency that you need and the strain that you need, okay? So in addition, so that's the first thing, is strain specificity. That's what makes this different. The other thing is if you're familiar with prebiotics and probiotics, okay? You've got probiotics, which is the actual bacteria, the living organism, and then you have prebiotics, which is what they eat. It is food for the bacteria. So you have to have the food for the bacteria to live, or else you're just putting the probiotic in there and it dies because it has nothing to eat. So it can't actually thrive in the environment in your gut, okay? So prebiotics are food for the probiotics. And also with those, they need to be specific types of prebiotic because they need to be matched up with what that bacteria actually likes to eat. The example that I like to give is if you go to someone who is a vegan and put this beautifully cooked steak in front of their face, like there's nothing wrong with the steak, it's just, it's not what they eat. So they're not gonna want it, they're not gonna eat it. It's the same with prebiotics and probiotics. So we have specific prebiotics that are matched to those strains of probiotics that are going to ensure that they're able to actually take in the gut and to thrive. And we find in the clinical data that when they look at the diversity of the gut after 30 days of taking mentobiotics, we see that that bacteria is not only in there, but it's thriving and it's able to stay, okay? So that's the first one on mentobiotics. As far as anything else that's in here, it also has L-theanine, which is an amino acid, really, really good for focus, for supporting your gut. It also has some fruit extracts. It also has New Zealand pine bark. New Zealand pine bark is used in other countries as first-line treatment for people that struggle with focus and holding attention and maintaining mental clarity. New Zealand pine bark. So that's in mentobiotics also. So it's a little bit more than just a probiotic. So mentobiotics is going to come in two forms. We have a tub, and now we actually have Happy Juice on the go. So we have these little packets. So I was just in Mexico this week and I packed the packets. Super convenient. So that's mentobiotics, that's the first ingredient. I like to talk about that one a lot because it's very sciencey and I get excited. All right, the second ingredient is going to be Edge. We've got two forms of this. You can get a tub, watermelon flavor, or you can get a packet, which is going to be grape flavored. Edge is going to be for mood, motivation, and metabolism. This is in the nootropic family. You might hear that word being thrown around. It's kind of a buzzword right now. They call it brain fuel. But this really is kind of activating some of the communication pathways on the gut-brain axis. And this is going to be fruit extract. So this has mango leaf, lychee fruit, and palm fruit. And this is a lot of just like bioactive complex. And it's going to give you the mental, this is like the turn it on, get in the zone, get stuff done. So for people that are like entrepreneurs or really serious business people, like this is the part that's giving you that mental focus, that mental clarity to get in the zone and get stuff done. So as you can see already, this is doing something very, very different in your body than mentobiotics, but both very important and they work synergistically, okay? So that's ingredient number 2 is our Edge. Ingredient number 3 is called Energy. We have this in two forms. Both come in a packet. The first one's gonna be a pomegranate lime. This one has a little bit of caffeine in it, 55 milligrams. It comes from matcha, which is much easier in and out of the body compared to coffee. It's not gonna spike your cortisol. This one does have 5 grams of sugar that comes from actual sugar. So if you're trying to stay caffeine-free, sugar-free, you're gonna go with the other one. So this is our dragon fruit. This is going to be 0 caffeine, 0 sugar, tastes just as good. And these both are just a lot of like fruit complexes that kind of activate things, get blood flow going, and just like it's called energy, it gives you energy, okay? The very first day that I had Happy Juice, I like the energy with the caffeine in it, and the very first day that I had Happy Juice, I went out and I ran like 2.5 miles. I don't run, not a runner. But I had so much natural energy that I wasn't used to having that I was like, I have to do something. So I did a bunch of stuff around the house and then I went outside and I went for a run. because I felt like it. So that's my energy story that I like to share. But all three of these powders mixed in. My own personal experience, I will share a little bit more about that. So I started drinking Happy Juice about 19 months ago. If you're anything like me, I like to start with like one product and then kind of layer stuff on. So that's why I wanted to share this week as well, like some of the other products that I take, but I did it like piecewise so that I could actually know like what things were doing in my body. So I started with Happy Juice. This is like the core of my protocol, the non-negotiable. If you're looking at things about weight loss that I'm talking about and balancing hormones, things like that, this has to be like the first step, in my opinion, because there's so much that is tied between your gut health and your hormones and your gut health and weight loss. More to come on that, but they are so intricately related and work off of each other that you can't not have this piece. So when I started 18 months ago, the first day I went for a run, obviously noticed a huge increase in my natural energy and my mood. And then what I noticed after a couple weeks was the mental clarity part. Like I felt like my memory was better. I wasn't really walking into rooms and forgetting why I was there. I was able to be a lot more like efficient and productive. Efficient and productive when I did sit down to do work. Like I was just really focused and not so much squirrel brain like I was before. My sleep started getting better after a couple of weeks. And then after a couple of months, what I noticed, my cycles were better for us ladies. My inflammation and my bloat were going down. Like I just didn't have all this extra fluff that I used to have. And I noticed that my stress resilience was very, very strong. And if you know me in real life or have seen me in real life, like the nicest compliment I ever get is like how grounded and calming my energy is. And let me tell you guys, I did not used to be like that. I literally used to be like on pins and needles all the time. Like my anxiety was so bad. And I was just so like high strung and just like disoriented and just kind of like in fight or flight, basically. I lived in fight or flight. And it was because of the job I had, the relationships I was in, all the drinking I was doing, you know, a culmination of things. But I was stuck in fight or flight for pretty much my entire adult life. And so after a few months, I finally felt like, it's gonna make me emotional. But it felt like I was grounded and centered again and starting to feel safe and at home in my own body. And if you've ever felt the opposite of that, you know exactly what I mean when I say that. And after I started to kind of see that, after a few months of drinking this every day, I was like, I'm done, I'm sold. I am sold. Like, I will be on this for the rest of my life, very shamelessly, because it really just like brought me back into my body again. And there's literally no price you can put on that. And it's honestly hard to describe, but you know what I'm talking about if you've been there. So, how do we get Happy Juice? What are next steps? I do have a promo that'll be coming up for Black Friday. What I will tell you though is a lot of times they don't include Happy Juice in the promotions just because we don't need to. I mean, it's the greatest thing ever. So it may or may not be included in that, but I do have like my weight loss protocol includes Happy Juice, you know, and the promotion might apply to that. And we also have some other bundles and packaging depending on like what you want to focus on as far as improvements in your health, where some things do include Happy Juice. But I do have a $10 off coupon. The link should be on the bottom of this video if I set it up right. You can go to buyhappyjuice.com and get your order placed. So all of our packages for new customers are gonna come with the 3-day gut reboot, which if you've seen, I just did one of those about a month ago to kickstart my weight loss journey. I lost about 7 pounds in 3 days just doing the 3-day gut reboot. You're gonna get that for free, no matter what you order, including Happy Juice. So that's gonna come with it as well. You're gonna get the $10 off. And then as soon as you place an order with me, like we're partners in this. Like I'll give you my number, I'll make sure you have the support community that you can plug into where we answer questions, give you recipes, give you tips, share the specials that we have going on. and we stay connected the whole way. So this isn't the kind of thing where you're just gonna order and I'm gonna disappear. I wanna know how you're doing, and I wanna know that you're taking your product, getting the benefits that you were looking for, because that's my job. And this stuff does work if you take it consistently. So that is day one, product spotlight of Happy Juice. Any questions, you can post those below. Also, Happy Juice makes a great gift, just throwing that out there. If you want someone to buy it for you, just go ahead and tag them in the comments, just make it really easy on them this year. But you guys shoot me a DM or comment below if there's any other questions before you get started. I love you guys. I will see you soon.